Imagine if Windows was worse than it already is, like straight up Windows 8.1 level bad. Every time you open an app, you must pass a QuickTime event like it's Dead by Daylight.
Honestly, we're gonna win if you crouches at all.
And if you fail, the consequences are quite severe. That's Windows QTE, an app I made because Windows isn't already bad enough. The first thing I worked on was a driver. And for those that don't know what a driver is, it's basically giving a toddler the keys to a nuclear power plant. Like, one wrong move. I started with Visual Studio's kernel mode driver template and wrote some code to read a file that will never exist. This is simply put how CrowdStrike made 8.5 million machines have a blue screen of death. After that, I built a driver. And in order not to fuck up my own machine, I downloaded a virtual machine with Windows 11. But I also had to disable driver signing, which is Microsoft saying this driver is valid. I could ask Microsoft to sign my driver, but I know damn well after they see the code, they're not gonna let it slide. Alright, so let's test out this driver real quick. Next, I made a simple desktop application that creates a transparent window where I could draw different shapes using the Windows 32 drawing library. I also added keyboard inputs just to test the QTEs, which was fairly simple. Just look at this. It's pretty clean for a week's worth of work, right? This is when I decided to switch from the Windows drawing library to Direct2D. Direct2D is like DirectX's younger brother. He's kinda dumb and only knows how to draw 2D, but he's really good at it. Setting up Direct2D was not as difficult as I imagined, but it was pretty tedious. It required me to manage all the things that allows me to draw. After that, I re-added the code for keyboard inputs and continued on to mouse inputs, which was really annoying. Once you click on the screen, there was an issue that if you clicked on the QTE text portion, which was transparent at the time, you would just crash the applications. I don't really know why, but I changed the color of the text to red. Then I had to work on audio. And for this I used Xaudio 2, which lets us play multiple audio streams. The keyword here is streams. Unlike the Windows API where I could just give it a file, Xaudio 2 requires me to load, decode, and transcribe the file before I give it to it. So I had to suffer, but I got it working. I also added pitch variation, and the pitch increases whenever you pass QTE, so the sounds don't all sound the same. One of the main features of this project is that it automatically starts when an application is launched. The way I went about it is using Windows itself. Pretty much I listen for events when an application is launched, and I check to see if the application was launched by explorer.exe. Once those criteria are met, then the games begin. I also added a list of applications that will force the game to run in impossible mode because people who play those games are doomed. Firstly, let me say, multi-threading fucking sucks. This part of the project actually ruined my entire year. Like, concurrency is great in theory, and in most languages like Go, it's pretty good, but in the vast majority of languages, it actually is so fucking ass. Anyways, when the game starts, we make a thread just for the game that runs at 60 FPS. This handles all the game stuff like rendering and game logic. But it just kept crashing and I couldn't really figure out why for like 8 hours. Like, I've already done multi-threading in the past when I made my Discord clone at the beginning of the year, so you'd think it would get easier, but holy, it just fucking sucks. And the reason why it kept crashing was the rendering cannot be in a separate thread. Like, who knew? So I used events to tell the main thread when to render the entire game. The final things I added were the difficulty options that you can select in the train menu, but if you launched a not so good game, League of Legends, then good fucking luck. I also added a UI at the top of your screen that displays the number of hits and misses of the current QTE. So when you fail a QTE, the driver will be run, and that causes a blue screen of death. Then I added a custom icon and a custom setup file that will set up the application and the driver. So if you like suffering, like real suffering, by all means, go for it. The worst part is it's one of the first applications to start when you start your computer, so it thinks every application that's automatic startup is something that you launched. So there might be a bunch of QTEs when you turn on your PC. To be honest, this project was really cool to work with. Like, I like C++, but holy, multi-threading fucking sucks. Project file is on my GitHub, and if you want to download it, go ahead. I personally would not recommend downloading or installing the driver, but shit, if you want to, by all means. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.